I spent a few months in Tanzania back in 2012, and let me tell you, I'm not a snake or a spider person at all. If you love those creatures, bless you, and also move to Tanzania right now because you will not be disappointed. It is creepy crawly heaven. Although I grew fairly accustomed to the spiders that like to reside right next to my bed in our little cement floor, straw-roofed banda, I couldn't quite get used to the snakes. I mean, the gardener snakes up here, they're not that bad. Maybe there's some other ones, don't tell me about them. I'll pretend I don't know. They're not that bad up here, but when you are getting used to walking around and seeing poisonous snakes just in your regular walking trails, or having professors casually point up a deadly snake above your head, point out, you're like, what? I don't know, don't tell me this. So one of these times, we had a professor, East African wildlife and history, and he was obsessed with every kind of animal you can imagine, and only one time he let it slip that he hated one animal above them all, the deadly puff adder. Now, the puff adder is responsible for the most snake bite fatalities in all of Africa. They are short and fairly pudgy, extremely well camouflaged, and will strike you the minute you come even close to their territory. Now, they're super quick, but what I recently learned is that they also can climb trees and run and swim really well. And so at that point in my research, I was like, I need to call up my professor right now and thank him that he never told me that during the semester, because I would have been petrified for the whole 3 months knowing there was no escape from these heinous little beasts. So one day in particular, I had the chance to kill one of these puff adders. Now, that sounds terrible. I know, it really does, but it is what needed to be done to protect our compound. Now, this wasn't just a puff adder, it was a baby puff adder. And if you know anything about baby snakes, venomous snakes in general, the babies are debatably said to release the highest dosage of poison to their victims. So, because they can't quite control their venom. So this baby puff adder has the gall to enter our garden, our miniature paradise in the middle of Tanzania, and render one of us its prey. So if I didn't do something, somebody else was going to need to. So I was given that permission, and I'm kind of a sicko, like I said before. I have a sick fascination with things that are new and crazy, so I just took that machete and I chopped off its scary little head. So I know that sounds intense, and it kind of was. We were all like super into it, and like, this is kind of messed up. So Lord of the Flies scenario with snakes, but so hear me, friends, though this needed to happen. The enemy needed to die so that others could live. And the same is true about the Bible. Jesus triumphed over Satan so that we could live. Genesis 3 prophesied that there would be one to come who would crush the serpent's head. It didn't say Jesus gave a light tap on the head or a little spanking too. It said crush. And we need to have that same vigor when it comes to destroying the enemy's influence in our lives.